What if I told you that one of the most common health habits in the world, something millions of seniors do every single morning with a glass of water, might actually be a quiet assault on your kidneys? It sounds like a paradox. We are told to take supplements to stay strong, to fill the gaps in our diet, and to protect our aging bodies. But as we cross the threshold of 60, the internal chemistry of our body changes, and what was once a helpful boost can suddenly turn into a metabolic burden. Today, we are digging into a controversial but life-saving topic: why a specific, incredibly popular supplement is being flagged by researchers in 2026 as a leading cause of preventable kidney stress in older adults. I'm not talking about rare herbs or sketchy internet pills. I'm talking about a staple found in almost every kitchen cabinet. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which supplement is turning traitor, how it creates a calcium-phosphate storm in your renal filters, and, most importantly, the science-backed alternatives that give you the benefits without the damage. Stick with me. This one matters more than you think. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is the place where we dig into the real science behind aging, longevity, and vitality, without the hype, without the scare tactics, and without trying to sell you a miracle cure. Today, we're tackling something that genuinely shocked me when I started reviewing the latest nephrology data. We often view vitamins as natural and therefore safe, but the reality of the aging body is that natural doesn't mean neutral. To understand why a supplement can suddenly turn on you after age 60, we have to look at the unique mechanics of the aging kidney. Think of your kidneys like the high-tech filtration system of a massive city. When the system was new, it could handle almost any surge in waste. But after 6 decades of constant work, the filter mesh, your nephrons, becomes more delicate. You actually lose about 1% of your kidney function every year after the age of 40. By the time you're 65, your filtration rate is naturally lower than it used to be. This creates a dangerous vulnerability. Your body can no longer flush out excess minerals with the same speed it once did. When you throw a high-dose supplement into this aging system, you aren't just nourishing yourself. You might be creating a toxic traffic jam in your bloodstream. Let's get straight to the question you clicked on this video for. Which supplement are doctors increasingly worried about for seniors? The answer might surprise you because it's often hailed as the king of bone health, high-dose calcium. Now, before you run to your kitchen and throw your bottle away, let me be very clear about what the 2026 data is actually showing. For 50 years, the mantra has been, if you want to avoid osteoporosis, you need to load up on calcium. But the latest research from the American Society of Nephrology and several European geriatric institutes suggests that high-dose calcium supplements, specifically those taken in isolation, are contributing to a silent epidemic of kidney stones and, more dangerously, nephrocalcinosis, which is the literal calcification of the kidney tissue itself. Here is how the calcium trap works. When you eat calcium in food, like a bowl of yogurt or a handful of almonds, your body absorbs it slowly, in small amounts, alongside other nutrients. But when you swallow a 1,000 milligram calcium carbonate pill, you hit your bloodstream with a massive artificial spike. Your bones can only absorb so much at once. The excess has to go somewhere. In a younger body, the kidneys simply flush it out. But in a senior body, that excess calcium often lingers. It finds its way into your arteries, contributing to plaque, and it settles in your kidneys. This isn't just theory. Recent statistics show that seniors taking high-dose calcium supplements have a 20% higher risk of developing kidney stones compared to those who get their calcium from food. This brings us to an even more critical part of the 2026 research, and it involves something we rarely talk about: racial and ethnic health disparities in kidney health. The harm of these supplements is not distributed equally. For example, the data is showing that African American seniors are statistically at a higher risk for chronic kidney disease, CKD. In the United States, Black adults are nearly 4 times as likely as white adults to develop kidney failure. When you add a high-dose calcium supplement to a population that already faces a higher baseline risk of kidney stress, the results can be devastating. Recent 2026 clinical data confirms that approximately 16% of Black adults now live with CKD, compared to roughly 13% of the general population. This disproportionate burden means that standard supplementation guidelines often fail to account for the unique physiological pressures faced by different ethnic groups. Specifically, let's look at the numbers. While about 13% of the general population has some form of CKD, that number jumps significantly in minority communities due to systemic factors and genetic predispositions like the APOL1 gene variant. In fact, roughly 35% of Black seniors show signs of reduced glomerular filtration by age 75. If you belong to these groups, your kidneys are already working on a tighter budget. Introducing a daily 200 millimeter calcium supplement is like asking a city's power grid to handle a lightning strike every single day. Similarly, research published in early 2026 shows that Hispanic and South Asian seniors are often underdiagnosed for early-stage kidney decline. They might be told to take standard doses of bone supplements that their kidneys simply cannot handle. We are moving into an era of precision nephrology, where we realize that an 80-year-old Black man, a 70-year-old Asian woman, and a 65-year-old white man all have vastly different renal math. The one-size-fits-all supplement bottle is a relic of the past. If your doctor or your supplement brand isn't considering your unique ethnic risk profile, you are operating in the dark. So, why does this keep happening? Why are we still taking these doses? It's because of legacy medicine. We are following advice that was perfected in the 1980s, before we understood the calcium-vascular link. We thought the body was like a bucket. If you want more calcium in the bones, just pour more into the top. But the body is a complex, interactive web. In 2026, we now know that without the right conductors, calcium is a rogue element. Instead of reaching your skeleton, this mineral surplus drifts through your bloodstream, hardening your heart's valves and clogging the delicate microvessels in your kidneys. We must move past these outdated, simplistic models and embrace a more nuanced, integrated approach to skeletal and renal health. This leads us to the most important part of today's video: the cofactor solution. If you truly need supplemental calcium for bone density, you cannot take it alone. To protect your kidneys, calcium needs two partners: vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. Think of vitamin D as the gatekeeper that helps you absorb calcium from the gut, and vitamin K2 as the traffic cop that tells the calcium where to go. K2 activates a protein called osteocalcin, which pulls calcium into the bones and teeth, and another protein called matrix GLA, which keeps calcium out of your soft tissues like your kidneys and heart. Without K2, that calcium supplement is like a car without a steering wheel. It's going to crash into your renal filters. By 2026, research has shown that this synergistic trio is essential for preventing the arterial stiffness that often plagues seniors. Without these critical biological guides, your efforts to strengthen your frame could inadvertently compromise your cardiovascular system and accelerate the decline of your essential filtration organs. But even with cofactors, the dose is the poison. The 2026 guidelines are shifting away from the megadose culture. Instead of a single 1,000 milligram pill, researchers are suggesting microdosing, taking smaller amounts, 200 to 300 milligrams, several times a day, or better yet, switching to food-based sources. Why? Because your kidneys are pulsatile filters. They prefer a steady, low-pressure stream over a high-pressure flood. Moreover, we have to talk about the phosphorus connection. In our modern diet, especially for those who consume processed, senior-friendly meal replacements or canned goods, phosphorus is everywhere. High calcium combined with high phosphorus creates calcium-phosphate crystals. These are the literal grains of sand that scratch and scar the delicate tubes of your kidneys. Recent 2026 clinical trials have shown that reducing supplemental calcium while increasing magnesium intake can actually reverse some of the early-stage mineral sludge found in senior renal scans. This recalibration of your mineral balance is vital because magnesium acts as a powerful natural solvent. By preventing these microscopic shards from ever forming, You are not just protecting your kidneys from immediate damage, but actively extending the functional lifespan of your entire cardiovascular and renal network. Beyond the mineral balance, we must address vascular calcification. When the kidneys can't clear excess calcium, it often ends up in the walls of your arteries. A 2025 study revealed that seniors on high-dose isolated calcium had a 15% higher incidence of arterial stiffness compared to those getting calcium from leafy greens. This stiffness forces the heart to pump harder, which in turn increases blood pressure within the kidney's delicate capillary beds. It is a vicious cycle. The supplement meant to help your bones is indirectly aging your heart and scarring your filters. All right. This is the part of the video that I think matters most, because after learning all this, the natural question is, okay, what can I actually do about it? How do I protect my bones without sacrificing my kidneys? Now, I want to be really clear. I am not a doctor. I am a science communicator digging into the latest research. Always talk to your own medical team before making significant changes, especially if you have pre-existing conditions like diabetes or hypertension, which already put a strain on your renal system. First, prioritize whole food calcium. The body recognizes the calcium in sardines, with bones, kale, collard greens, and fermented dairy far better than a crushed-up rock in a pill. When you get calcium from plants, it usually comes with magnesium. Magnesium is the natural antagonist to calcium. It helps keep calcium soluble so it doesn't form stones in your kidneys. One of the most consistent findings in 2026 gut health research is that a diet rich in diverse plant fibers actually helps your gut bacteria produce small amounts of vitamin K, further protecting your kidneys. Second, hydration is your kidney's best friend. If you are taking any supplements, you must increase your water intake. Water dilutes the concentration of minerals in your renal tubules. If the concentration of calcium or oxalate gets too high because you are slightly dehydrated, crystals form. It's like a science experiment in a jar. If you don't have enough liquid, the salt settles at the bottom. For a senior, thirst signals are often weaker, meaning you are likely more dehydrated than you feel. Aim for 8 to 10 glasses of filtered water and consider adding a squeeze of lemon. The citrate in lemons actually binds to calcium in the urine, preventing it from forming stones. It's a simple 20-cent habit that can save your kidneys. Third, demand a Cystatin C test. Most doctors use a creatinine test to check your kidney function. But in 2026, we know that creatinine can be misleading in seniors because it's affected by muscle mass. If you've lost muscle due to aging, your creatinine might look normal, even if your kidneys are failing. A Cystatin C test is a much more accurate way to see how your kidneys are truly performing. If your Cystatin C levels are even slightly elevated, it's a sign that your kidneys are struggling and that high-dose supplements should be stopped immediately. Fourth, be wary of hidden calcium. It's not just in your vitamins. Many over-the-counter antacids are essentially giant pills of calcium carbonate. If you are taking a daily antacid for reflux and a daily calcium supplement, you are hitting your kidneys with a double whammy that can lead to milk alkali syndrome. This is a condition where your blood becomes too alkaline and your kidneys start to shut down. If you're over 60, managing reflux through diet and lifestyle, like avoiding late-night meals, is much safer than relying on calcium-based tablets. Fifth, focus on weight-bearing movement. We take calcium because we're afraid of fractures, but the latest longevity data shows that your bones don't just need bricks, calcium, they need blueprints, stress. Walking, resistance bands, or even standing on one leg tells your body to strengthen the bone matrix. You can have all the calcium in the world, but if you aren't moving, your body won't use it. It will just send it to the kidneys to be discarded. Let's also look at the sleep-kidney axis. Recent 2026 studies have highlighted that our kidneys follow a circadian rhythm. They do their most intense sorting while we sleep. If you are struggling with insomnia, which affects nearly 50% of seniors, your kidneys never get the low-flow period they need to repair. Taking a massive mineral supplement right before bed is particularly hard on the system. If you must supplement, Do it in the morning when your blood flow is at its peak. I want to zoom out for a second because this research represents a massive shift in how we think about healthy aging. For decades, the goal was supplementation at all costs. But in 2026, the goal is shifting to metabolic efficiency. We are realizing that the aging body is a delicate ecosystem. When we intervene with aggressive doses of anything, even vitamins, we risk disrupting the balance that keeps our vital organs running. This changes the game. It means that being a healthy senior isn't about how many pills you can fit into a weekly organizer. It's about how well your filters are working. It's about circulation. It's about energy. It's about avoiding the medical treadmill where you take one pill to fix your bones, only to need another pill to fix the kidney stones caused by the first one. We are seeing a rise in deprescribing in 2026, where geriatricians are actively helping patients remove unnecessary supplements to improve their overall vitality. In fact, over 40% of geriatric consultations now involve tapering off vitamins that are no longer providing a net benefit. There are researchers right now working on kidney-safe bone nutrients, things like strontium and specific collagen peptides that support the bone matrix without the mineral load risks of calcium. We are entering an era where we can protect our skeletal system without putting our renal system in the crosshairs. Until those are the standard, we have to use our wisdom to navigate the current supplement aisle. I know this information might feel a bit overwhelming. We've been told for so long that calcium is the good guy. It's hard to see it as a potential traitor, but I want you to feel empowered, not afraid. You are the CEO of your own health. A doctor is a consultant, but you are the one who lives in the body. When you understand the math of your aging body, you can make better choices. You can choose the yogurt over the pill. You can choose the walk over the antacid. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's this. Your kidneys are the unsung heroes of your longevity. They are the silent workers that keep your internal environment clean. In your 60s and beyond, the most powerful thing you can do for your health isn't to add more stuff into your system. It's to protect the filters you already have. Your health span, the years you live in good health, depends directly on the health of your microvasculature, and nothing protects those tiny vessels like a balanced, low-stress mineral environment. Additionally, we must mention oxalate management. Many seniors who increase their intake of healthy greens like spinach or almonds, while also taking calcium supplements, inadvertently create calcium oxalate stones. About 80% of all kidney stones are made of this compound. By consuming calcium with meals, the calcium binds to oxalates in the stomach and passes through the gut instead of the kidneys. This simple timing change reduces the renal workload by a massive margin. If this video helped you or made you look at your supplement cabinet in a new light, please hit that like button. It helps get this message out to other seniors who might be unknowingly stressing their kidneys every morning. And subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive, where we'll be looking at the 3 morning habits that actually boost kidney filtration and how to naturally improve your energy levels without caffeine. Drop a comment down below. Do you take a daily calcium supplement? Have you ever had your kidney function checked with a Cystatin C test? Do you find it hard to get enough calcium from food alone? I read every single comment, and your stories are what drive the research for these videos. We are building a community of empowered, informed seniors who aren't afraid to look past the marketing and get to the real science. We're in this together, and by sharing our experiences, we can change the way the world thinks about aging and nutrition. Take care of your heart. Take care of your bones. And most importantly, take care of those incredible, hard-working kidneys. You've worked hard to reach this stage of life. You deserve to enjoy it with a body that feels clean, clear, and strong. Don't let a routine habit steal your peace of mind. Stay healthy and vibrant. I'll see you in the next one.